Hello, all you amazing healers, highly sensitive people, empaths. So, today's topic is all about your energy systems. When I come across people in today's extremely stressful world, the first place that I see people suffering is their energy systems. And the energy systems are the ones that help with bringing the energy to all of your muscles, your cells, your glands, your organs. And we have a specific system in our body, and there are even redundancies included. And I'm going to talk about those today and how you can heal them and feel better fast. This is Anastasia. I used to be a physics professor specializing in vibrational and quantum physics. After recovering from a serious illness using energy healing on myself, the calling to heal became so strong that I had to quit my 40-year research career. I replaced my 6-figure professor salary within 5 months using a simple but not easy 3-step system that I worked out to grow my healing practice. Now I help other healers grow their practices, whether they're just starting or already have a practice, with this same 3-step system. I'm all about helping you too. Listen in to learn more. Thank you so much for coming back, and I really appreciate you being here and hearing this message, because it is really important to make sure that your body is getting the energy it needs. The number one thing that I see people running around all of the time, they're not taking care of themselves and they feel tired, drained, even their sleep is not productive, they don't get enough exercise, and so on. So let's just talk about what this means for you. So the first place that I see really huge problems is your adrenal glands. So the adrenal glands, if they're not functioning properly, means that they don't settle down at night and they don't start getting you up in the morning when you wake up. And yes, they are really important for that. And when you are coming to adrenal fatigue, and remember, adrenal fatigue is a really huge problem in this country, right? And I'm in the United States, and I'm sure it is for other places. It's a really huge problem. There are about 60% of the people are either in adrenal fatigue or they are nearing adrenal fatigue. That is a huge number of people in adrenal fatigue. So what that means is that you can't get enough restful sleep because your adrenals are still firing a little bit at night, and then when you get up in the morning, you're tired and you can't get up because your adrenals are not working properly, right? So that's the first thing. The second place where your body gets energy from, another place that's really important, is your thyroid. So your thyroid helps produce the hormones that are your metabolic engine, and it needs to be working properly as well, right? So it helps, right? It produces thyroxine, and there are a number of thyroid hormones that are pumped out, but the main one that's measured is T4, which then converts to T3, which is metabolically active. And if that conversion is not very well, then measuring your T4 until the cows come home will not actually help you feel any better. So if your T3 is below the threshold that it needs to be, usually means that you need help in that place. And then the third place that people are having problems with is their liver. So the liver does about 17 major functions in the body. One of the most important is taking that stored glycogen in your liver, which it does do, taking that stored glycogen and sending it out to your muscles as needed. And that requires that requires a certain metabolic processes, but it also requires a healthy functioning liver. And when I look at these three particular glands and organ, right, when I look at these three particular, I find that people that are very stressed out and express how tired they are, I find that these are very, very depleted. And so one way to help you replenish them is to pause a little bit every day. You can put on a timer where it goes off on the hour, and every time it does that, take a few deep breaths and just imagine the tension draining out of your body. And it's harder to remember to do things like this than it is to actually do them. And by taking these deep breaths and imagining all the stress draining from your body, even if you are in the same situation, it will make you feel better. Another thing to do is to meditate, because that will also make you feel better, because it takes you out of that sympathetic state, which is when the adrenals are firing or trying to fire, and allows you to get into the parasympathetic or healing state. So you've heard me talk a lot about those. So let me finish with the rest of the energy systems of the body. In my program, I usually dedicate 4 months, or basically 8 healing sessions, in which it allows your energy systems in the body to get better, and you learn how to heal them, right? So the important thing is that your digestive system, meaning your mouth, your esophagus, your stomach, your liver, your pancreas, your gallbladder, your large and small intestines are all part of the digestive system. And all the components that I just named need to be working properly, right? And that's part of the problem, because a lot of people are suffering from some sort of intestinal distress. This is really common. It's really hard to heal out of the box. It takes like a multifaceted effort. And then the other is to make sure that the pathways, the hormonal pathways to your liver, your thyroid, and your adrenal glands are clear. And it first starts out in the hypothalamus, which is in the brain, which is kind of like the master controller of all of your hormones. And its first lieutenant is the pituitary gland. And so what the hypothalamus does is it detects whether you have enough of certain hormones, let's say enough of your thyroid hormone. And if there's not enough, it tells the pituitary to send out, for example, thyroid stimulating hormone to help the thyroid produce more hormone, so it'll give you your energy back, right? So the number for, if you look on your thyroid panels, the number for the thyroid stimulating hormone, or TSH, needs to be below a certain threshold. That's telling the doctor, for example, who's reading that panel, it's telling the doctor that your thyroid is functioning properly. The higher that number is, the worse your thyroid is functioning, and it is not producing the amount because the hypothalamus is reading it. Just so you know how it functions, right? When you create an image in your mind as a healer, when you create an image in your mind of how something is supposed to function, it helps you produce that result, right? Because a lot of it is intention, right? Your intention. You can say, I have the intention of healing my thyroid, right? But if you don't pay attention to the hypothalamus and the pituitary, it's called the HPT axis, hypothalamus, pituitary, thyroid. If you don't pay attention to all of them, then you won't get the long-term desired results, right? So, So a lot of the techniques that I'm using, like one of them in particular that I use to help refurbish or bring back the function of your youthful self or your healthiest youthful self to all of the systems, the glands, the organs that I just mentioned that are helpful in producing the proper amount of energy for your body. So you'll feel awake, alert, happy. Like more energy makes people feel happy, because remember, when somebody is sad, the frequency goes down and it decreases your body systems and you feel depleted, right? So when you have more energy, people feel happy, right? And as soon as I do healings on these individuals, especially the HPT and the HPA axis, so HPA is hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal glands. It does the same thing when there's not enough of a particular hormone that's supposed to be running through your body. The hypothalamus kicks the pituitary in the rear end and says, okay, we need more adrenaline, right? So then it produces it. And it's, of course, very fast. It takes me a lot longer to say it than it actually happens, right? Because you can reduce the amount of adrenaline or cortisol in your body by even just your posture, right? So let's just do that right now. Is pull your shoulders back, stand up straight, take some deep breaths, put a smile on your face, because there's a two-way conversation between your physical self and your chemical self, right? So there's this two-way conversation. So if you're smiling, you will feel better. You'll be happier. Your frequency will go up and your hormones will go, oh, we must be feeling happy because we're smiling. And it will help reduce the tension in your body, right? That's why Robin Givens, when he was ill with cancer, he watched lots of Laurel and Hardy movies. This was back in the 1960s, and he got better, right? So remember that laughing and smiling is a good way to raise your frequency, even if you don't feel very good. So we're in our good posture, and as I'm talking, we've been in this good posture for 1 or 2 minutes. You have just lowered your stress hormones by about 20%. And when you smile and you purposefully smile, like smile at people, you'll notice that they'll smile back. Yes, smiling is contagious, right? You will feel better, they will feel better, everybody will feel better, and all our mirror neurons will kick into gear and help other people feel better. So as a healer, this is a really good tip. So I hope this was helpful to you. I talked about all the energy systems in the body. I showed you one way to very quickly help your body get into a healing state, just the posture. And also like creating the illusion on your body that you're actually feeling better when, emotionally you might not be. And like I said, there's a two-way conversation, because when you're sad inside, you'll have a sad face. If you're happy inside, you automatically have a happy face. You don't have to think about it, right? And last, I'm going to give you a tip on how to re-energize everything. Aside from learning the healing process that I call cellular reattunement, which means bringing everything back to its original healthy energetic blueprint, right, is to just imagine that bright golden healing lights coming in through the top of your head and running through your whole body, right? And as it does that, it's lighting up all the dark spaces, right? And you allow all of the darkness to drain out your grounding cord and down deep into the earth. And just my saying that and doing it for myself, and you will, while you're listening to this, get the same result. Just by doing this for myself, I actually feel more energetic and better, right? Even though I woke up in a really good mood. Okay. So thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you so much for taking valuable time out of your day to listen in. If you found this message helpful, please help spread the word by giving the broadcast a thumbs up or a 5-star rating. Share it with your friends and be sure to subscribe to my channel with your notifications on. For further training on healing and growing your healing business using my 3-step system, go to www.highpaidhealers.com. And I'll see you in the next video.